All right, it says we're live now, so I'm gonna do this. I originally said I'd do it at 5:30, but I heard the oven go off, so I might not have that much time to wait till then to do it on time. So I figure better to be early than late. So today for live album discussions, we're gonna talk about the Jazz and Blues album, 17th solo release, and of course the 22nd album I've released in total, if you count the 5 albums with the SOS Brigade Quartet. Originally, I would have wanted to reunite for another album, but they are MIA, non responsive, and yeah, just talked a bunch of stuff that they didn't back up and bailed on me. So, probably will never be any more albums from that group, sadly. Not that I didn't enjoy it and wouldn't have wanted to. It was a lot of fun, but they just don't want to say anything, so nothing I can do. And I have yet to find anybody that actually wants to play in a band to make completely original music, so that dream is put on hold. Also, for other updates, on the 16th of May, the DWC album will drop, and that is the group with Denine, Vlad the Impaler, and Little Buckingham, sort of like a super protege group of alter egos. That album will drop. It should be pretty good. I think people who like those personas in my music will like that album a lot because they actually all get solos on those records. And it's mostly them taking the lead with that record. So, yeah. As for any new music I'm working on, I've recorded 4 songs for Industry Conspiracy. There will be 6 more songs to record for that album. And then after another 22 songs, which will go A New Era for Music and Back to Namek, that will conclude things for a while because until I find competent sound engineers and good producers to work with to really polish up my sound and make it sound professional, I don't really want to do it. It just doesn't seem like there's a point to do it. It's like I could be the greatest lyricist and spit the hottest shit ever, but if there's not good production or quality to the music, there's no point in doing it. And I'm kind of just pissed off that this country, not even just the city, this country does not offer good opportunities to recording artists. I mean, there's certain studios here that will only take country, rock, and pop artists and won't even work with hip hop artists. And those are the studios with the best recording equipment, best producers, and sound engineers, but they discriminate. So it's just kind of a fucking joke. And that's the only reason that Drake is the most famous fucking Canadian rapper is because he went to the States. His dad was Al Green's drummer and he had fucking connections to the music industry, which is why he blew up down there, not up here, because nobody fucking makes that big of a name. There's tons of rappers here that are better than Drake, yet they're unknown, and that's why. It's not about talent, it's not about skill. This country is very biased and discriminatory when it comes to artists, and I hate that shit. And I'd love to fight and make a change, but I can't do it by myself. And since there's no competent people, even the studio I went to record with Memories, I'll be honest, there's flaws with Memories, but he charges $40 an hour to even go to the studio to work on anything and won't even touch anything unless you're paying him for it. So there's no point in even dealing with this guy. There's nobody else I could really go to. So it's just kind of a waste of time to even keep making music. Now, getting into the album discussion, it starts off with the jazzy intro for a blues album, which is completely instrumental composition. I apologize for the people talking in the background. Seems like always something fucking with me. It's either trains, neighbors, dogs barking, or people talking. It's always something. But anyways, back to what I was saying. This instrumental composition is just kind of like an instrumental intro to start the album off. All the instruments were played by yours truly. I composed everything, and I really just wanted to take it back to jazz and blues roots. And also, there is definitely a Japanese pop vibe to this record that is very strong. So it kind of pushes hip hop as the primary genre to the back burner throughout this album. The second track is Requiem for Yuki-chan, which was a song I made for a girl in Hokkaido, Japan, who was older but seemed to like me. Things went on. I talked to her on line calls before line stopped working for Huawei phones, which sucks. A lot of apps don't work for that anymore, so there's a lot of shit I can't even do anymore. But yeah, me and her had conversations. I saw her naked and all sorts of wild stuff. And she seemed like she was really into me, but musically we didn't see eye to eye. And I feel like she would insult my music and insult me to kind of try to push me away because she lacked confidence in herself being an older woman. But she could sing very good, she could play piano. It's not that I didn't understand certain things she was saying to me, but I feel like she didn't understand certain aspects of my music, which once again could boil down to production quality. You know what I mean? That's the whole big depression going on with music for me right now is you have all these corrupt assholes in the industry who are big stars with, successful albums and all that, doing evil shit like, raping women, molesting children, fucking selling drugs and all this fucked up shit. And then you have somebody like me who's good and honest. I'm Buddhist. I don't believe in doing really negativity to anybody. And yet I get shortchanged and put on the back burner, even though I'm lyrically more talented than all these motherfuckers. So it's just a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, sadly to say, I made this song for her. She didn't even appreciate it. But I felt like it was a good song. So I put it on the record. That was another beat that was made by the German guy Max. The first one was all me. Number three, the next track, Persistence is Key, all instrumental. And that one, of course, all me. That's more of like a jazzy blues piece, different solos throughout it on different instruments. I think it sounds cool though. And then there's the Buddha Nature Blues, which is one I wrote about Buddhism. I actually really like this one. Probably my favorite track on this record, or at least one of them, because I feel like I summed up a lot of the things I've learned being Buddhist and the Buddha Nature Blues. Like, it's not always easy, it might be a road less traveled, but there is some good benefits to being Buddhist. And I feel like that accurately shows through in that piece. The singing, the rapping, all of it I think is pretty cool. Plus, there's some nice saxophone riffs on that. Just overall, a groovy little track. And once again, that's another one that I did completely myself, which I'm proud of. In fact, most of this album is actually all my production. Requiem for Yuki Chan, um, Hitomi Still on My Mind, I think are the only ones that are actually not originally my beats. Yeah, I would say that's true. In fact, actually, you and I, perhaps brackets is Hot Rod's production. But other than that, sorry, there's a fly here. I'm trying to kill it. There we go. Got it. Yeah, fly bothered me, threw me off. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, after Buddha Nature Blues, which is, really explaining blues with a Buddhist nature twist, which I really dig, we get into the chanting interlude. Whereas you get to kind of hear and witness through the chanting interlude what it would really feel like, with the daily practice of Buddhism. And then, of course, that leads into the track I was talking about, produced by Hot Rod, You and I, in brackets, Perhaps, which was a song I made for a chick named Nicole Featherston who played games and was all over the place and pretended to like me in the beginning, but then didn't want to do stuff with me, made up some excuse about how she was on her period and didn't want to do stuff, even though she was saying how much she wanted to do stuff before she came over and all this shit, right? Fucking hate whack phony people like that. Straight up, she's a bitch anyway, and she's fat and ugly and she's weird. But she acted like she was nice and wanted to get with me. So I tried to keep an open mind, but phony people just don't do it for me. So what happened though was, before I found out that Natsuki was fake, this one girl I met on Japan Cupid, or at least I thought it was, probably might have even just been some scammer, who knows, from some African country impersonating a Japanese girl. But the whole time, like, she's like pressuring me to stay off Japan Cupid. She was very controlling, abusive, and just kind of crazy about shit, right? I told her, like, okay, I'm dating this person at the time because I thought I was. And yet this chick even though she knew all this, was trying to say like shit about how she wished she had given me a blowjob that day and all this shit, and how she wished she had not lost her chance with me and gotten with me. And then as soon as I became single, she distanced herself and bailed on me. Like, you want me when I'm taken by somebody else, but you don't want me when I'm single. What the fuck? That's some hoe shit right there. That's some straight up hoe shit. And Nicole Featherston, you're a fucking whack ass fat fucking blonde hoe. Like, straight up. What kind of fucking shit is that? Straight up. Anybody watching this, watch out for that bitch. Cause that shit ain't cool. That's straight up on some hoe shit. You only want a motherfucker when you think he's dating somebody and you saying all this shit. You really shouldn't be saying to somebody you think is dating somebody else. You lost your chance, so you trying to take him from somebody else? What the fuck? And then the moment he becomes single, you play games and distance me. And then she said how it was a red flag that, like, we were cuddling and I tried to kiss her and stuff. Which she was saying she wanted to do that shit before she even came over to spend time with me. What kind of fucking whack shit is that? But anyways, trying to make her a song and all that. That's what that one was about. And I said you and I perhaps, because I didn't really have much confidence in it. I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. But I try to make songs about the good and bad experiences that happen. So there you go. That's what that song all was. And I felt like, hey, it is what it is. And then next we get into track number 7, Samurai Style Bop 777, which is another completely jazz instrumental song. Kind of got a funky vibe to it. I dig it. Very bluesy and jazz too. All instrumental composition. Everything was me playing it. And then the next track, track number 8, Japanese Originator's Offering, which is a song dedicated to Japanese pop singer Chisato Moritaka, who is one of my favorite Japanese pop singers. She's done songs like The Miha, Get Smile, Natsu no Hi, all these great songs. Like, I've got her 3 disc greatest hits. I'm a big fan of Chisato Moritaka. And for a while, there was a fake account messaging me pretending to be her and all this wild shit. But it clearly wasn't real. But regardless of that, I still love Chisato Moritaka. I think she's cool. And why I say Japanese Originators Offering, like it's a tribute, but I call her a Japanese originator because when she came out, everybody in Japanese pop started to adjust to her style. She started writing her own songs, doing things her own way, and then Japanese pop music changed. Before that, it would be called city pop or future funk. Like, you look at your Maria Takeuchis, you look at your Tatsuro Yamashita's, your Taeko Onukis. It had a very 70s soul funk disco kind of vibe to it. Very Western influence. It didn't really have the what we would look at as like the technologically advanced Japanese pop formula or sound that came into the picture until she started doing songs like the Miha. Then it really became a lot more electronic sounding, which is the basic formula of how it sounds today. But you look at like how it was before that, you even look at like her first couple songs, when she was following that formula, things still sounded like that even with her music. It wasn't until she started writing her own songs and came up with an original sound like she did with the Miha that things really started to change. And then everybody started sounding like her after that. So she is an originator of the root of Japanese pop music, which is very cool. And I actually love that about her music. Plus, she plays several instruments like drums and guitar and keyboards herself. So she's very talented. Plus, oh man, she's got great legs. And even though she's older now, I mean, she's still a babe. It's kind of amazing. She takes very good care of herself. In fact, I was reading in an interview when they asked her about that. She always moisturizes her skin with a certain type of lotion, and she swims a lot. That's what she credits to her youthful appearance, even her old age. And yeah, she's got some great legs. Very cute. Even still at her old age. Totomo kawaii, as they say. But Yeah, like even as an instrumentalist, she's a fantastic drummer. Like I seen a performance where she didn't sing or nothing, just played drums, and she really could play instruments fantastically. It's quite amazing. So yeah, definitely check her out if you haven't heard. And that's pretty much what that song is all about, you know. Track number 9, another instrumental composition, Finding Clarity in Confusion, which, that's about discovering my spirituality, figuring out what path I really want to go on, where things are going to take me from here musically, all these things. There's a lot of confusing things up in the air, which is very relatable even now from back when I recorded this last year. A lot of these albums, like I have been discussing, were technically recorded last year, but they just have been set up and it took a while to master them all to release them this year. But yeah, a lot of them were recorded last year. In fact, I would say a good chunk of these were probably recorded either before I went to Japan last year or after. And I just kind of mixed and matched them to prepare them for release following this year we are in now. So yeah, Finding Clarity and Confusion, all instrumental, definitely another like, jazz blues composition. And then that leads into the final track, He Told Me Still on My Mind, which that's kind of inspired by the concept of Georgia's on my mind, but He Told Me Still on my mind because, that's my hero. That's my favorite Japanese pop song. That would be like the ideal woman for me to marry. If not her, at least someone equal or better. So, she's very important and a very special figure to me. And I mean, she thanked me on stage when I was at her concert. She sent me very sweet messages. I've received prizes for her. And even when I go back to Japan in September, I'm pretty much going to be sitting in VIP seats with some special prizes. So, it's just great. I always got much love for her. I always got her on my mind. Even after all this time, He Told Me Still on my mind, right? And that's pretty much what the song's about. And this beat was actually produced by Tone Jones, which it's the only one on this record that was produced by him, but it's very good. And another cool fact about this song was I was originally planning to make a song called Origin Point with Cuban Link, but he wanted 3 grand. I ain't got 3 grand, so it just never happened. I would have loved to do it with him. I even had a verse written about me and him rapping together and all that, but it just these artists want too much for a broke ass motherfucker on disability. And when you don't have record labels of people investing in you or good producers and sound engineers, it's just very tough to work with a lot of these high end artists. Now, with that said, I'd still love to do songs. I'm especially hoping one day I get to make a song with Big Daddy Kane above all of them. But it's just a very difficult position to be in being an independent artist. And I'm really getting shortchanged here, which they let these pedophiles like fucking Drake and assholes like Kendrick rule the world when they're shit. They're whack. Those motherfuckers couldn't even hold a candle to me lyrically. They both fucking suck. It's just bullshit. So, but that's how the industry is. And I mean, look at it this way. Diddy has been fucking mopping the floor with his own artists and fucking them up and cleaning up the messes he made, taking them out and screwing them over for years. And it's only now coming to light that this motherfucker was involved in sex trafficking and drugs and all this shit. So the industry is just crooked. It's more crooked than fucking George Washington's wooden teeth, to be real. Like, that shit is just, it's not straight and narrow at all. It's fucked up. But yeah, as I was saying with all the other new albums, I've recorded 4 tracks so far of the songs for Industry Conspiracy, which will be about the Diddy and the Jay-Z and the Beyonce and all the corruption in the music industry. And then after I finish those 10 songs, I'm going to do another 2 couple albums, A New Era for Music and Back to Namek. And then I'm probably going to take a break until an opportunity or doors open up that I could actually make more polished professional sounding music. Because I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I've already done it. I'm killing it underground. Lyrically, I'm a beast. Everybody says that. They're like, you're probably one of the most lyrical rappers ever. But the problem is your production ain't that good. It ain't that hot. It ain't that crisp and mint and focused. And I get that. But I'm broke on disability. I can't afford half these big fucking studios. Like, and you know what else is a big problem about it too? Ain't no investors in it, one. And two, a lot of the fucking people with the good equipment and the good sound engineers and producers here don't even want to work with hip hop artists. So the discrimination is also a big factor. I apologize for these asshole cocksucking motherfucking Hamilton fucking dick riding faggot fucking pieces of shit train assholes. They always love to show up when I'm doing my videos. And as you could tell from the amount of curse words I just threw out there, it just really pisses me off. Like these fuckers literally didn't show up all day and just have to show up right in the middle of my fucking web show. I honestly, it might be the mental disorders, it could be, but I feel like I'm getting fucking targeted lately. The way I'm getting fucked around, the way my neighbors literally come out to fucking ruin my recording sessions, fucking trains show up in the middle of my broadcast. It feels like motherfuckers are all just sitting there like my house, my room is bugged, and they're just waiting for times to come and fuck with me, to piss me off and fucking sabotage me. That's what it feels like. And yeah, that could be crazy. That could be the paranoia. That could be the schizophrenia. Fair enough. I'm smart enough to admit it could be that. But you know what? Let me tell you something, people. I don't believe in coincidences. As Buddhists, we're taught not to believe in coincidences. One, that everything happens because there's a reason behind it, or that it is orchestrated by something. And let me tell you, with all these motherfuckers just picking these horrible moments to come fuck with me, that's a hell of a lot of coincidences. Nobody is that lucky or unlucky. It's just something is up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't dig it. Piss me off. I'll give you a perfect example too, people. Yesterday, I was recording a song called Phony Joni. The whole time I'm trying to record it, neighbors kept fucking with me. Kept coming out, making noise, breaking shit, just fucking making a racket. I had no fucking quiet, peaceful time. My parents out, perfect time to record when people are fucking quiet outside, mind you. No trains came either. I was lucky in that regard. But these fuckers kept making noise that it took me fucking hours to get one song done just because I had to wait for fucking quick sprees when there was total silence to fucking get it done. And then the moment I finish recording, these fuckers all go inside their houses and become dead silent. And then last night, after all this, I'm trying to go to bed. These fuckers having fires, talking loud, drinking, smoking. I can smell the fucking weed through my mother-in-law door, which is like the window of my room. I'm trying to fucking stay sober and stay away from this shit, and these motherfuckers shoving it right in my fucking face. Like, yeah, that's great. That's real good encouragement to help a fucking addict stay away from shit when you shoving it in his face. He's already stressed and pushed over the edge, and you want to throw that right in his fucking face. Like, that's how unsympathetic fucking Hamilton assholes are. They're all selfish, rotten fucking cocksuckers, which is why I don't like anybody in this town. I don't have any friends here because they ain't no fucking good. They all phony backstabbers. Even fucking retrospect. He keeps saying shit like he's gonna come do shit. The last time he emailed me, oh yeah, I'm gonna come by tomorrow. We'll smoke 4 joints, we'll drink 4 beers, all this shit, and we're gonna bang out all those songs. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. I already know what this motherfucker's like. Guess what? He ain't said shit since that day, and it's been like 4 or 5 fucking days now. This motherfucker can't keep his word to save his own fucking ass. So you can't trust motherfuckers here. That's why I say I don't got no friends here. I got friends in Japan. I got friends in other parts of the world. I ain't got no friends. Nobody's spending time with me. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody helping me out of the struggle. I'm fighting all this fucking bullshit. It's like me against the world, Tupac kind of shit, all by myself. And it's stressful. It's overwhelming. So that's why, as you can tell, I'm a bit frustrated. I'm on edge. It's a lot of shit to deal with lately. And of course, I know some people probably wondering, when's the next Stephen King review going to come out? I'm thinking I'm going to try to do it tomorrow if my mental health is stable and okay enough that I can do it. And I'm going to do the one on Dr. Sleep, my 9th review. I'll do it then. And if I can actually record it with some peace and quiet, get through it okay, then what I'll do is I'll post that Monday night, and then y'all get the night review. So far, I've read 31 books. Just another update on that, because when I did the top 30 list, I had read 30 books up to Bag of Bones. So far, I've read Blaze. Because of the depression, I just haven't been able to read as much lately. It's really been taking a toll on me. I've just been too tired and, energy depleted. I can't focus enough to read very much. But I read Blaze. That was a short one, so I did get through that. It was actually a really good book. I'll put it this way: Blaze was one of those books that it was better than I expected it to be. It was actually a pretty touching, heartwarming story. It wasn't anything like your normal Stephen King book. It was totally different. It was along the lines of the Bachman books, 100%. But it overall was a very good book. Like, objectively speaking, it had a very touching, heartwarming story to it. It was a little weird and off the wall, but at the same time, it's Stephen King. What do you expect with that, right? But the next book that I'm currently reading is Christine, which is actually quite good too. So far, I have read, let's see, how many pages have I read so far this? So I've read 129 pages. I'm on 130, and it's really good. You hear that fucking squealing? Imagine trying to sleep hearing that shit. Imagine trying to sleep last night. You got fucking drunk fucking Hamilton assholes smoking weed, fucking carrying on, talking. I didn't even get to sleep till fucking 3 in the morning. I had to put on shit just to drown them out, because I'd want to curse them out and tell them to shut the fuck up, and they'd still just get louder and try to antagonize me more, because they're fucking bullies like that. So, yeah, as you can imagine, the stress, the fucking mental disorders, the depression, all that, it's taking a toll on me. I'm trying to hang in there, but fuck. Somebody needs to throw me a fucking life preserver, because shit, I'm drowning here. Anyways, that is our live album discussion for the day. Hopefully, y'all will check it out. I'll definitely put a link to the playlist in the album. And with all the other albums, all the other songs I have professionally released, they are all in that playlist. So anything you've heard in these album discussions that you'd want to check out, definitely check them out. And always happy to hear thoughts, feedback, share it with people. And like I said, maybe the quality isn't the best on some of these records, but trying to do all this shit myself is just, it's brutal. It's overwhelming, and it's not really my area of expertise. As an artist, I'm really good with lyrics. I'm good with coming up with beat ideas. I'm not really the greatest expert on the technical shit. I don't really want to sit there and work on like the technical shit, because it's not something I'm that knowledgeable about, and it's just very tedious and rigorous and annoying. It's not my strength. I want to be free as an artist to just create the best music I can and let other people polish it up so they can shine and be the diamonds that they really are as far as my songs. But until I get opportunities like that, there's nothing I can really do. Straight up. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Either way, I will say this. The ideas behind the beats, I think, are great. The lyrics, they're great. Is the quality, the sound the best? Maybe not. I would say out of all my albums, Impulse probably had the best sound quality out of all of them, my first one. And yet, the producer was a drunk, lazy goof, and there is flaws even in that one. Now, my underground gospel rap album also had pretty damn good quality, but I could never release that because I'm using other people's beats, one, and two, there's samples in it that I just would not be able to clear. So that's why that just kind of remains underground. And it's out there for people to listen to, but I can't make no money off it. And I'm kind of happy about that. I'm grateful for that, because if I was making money off it, other people would be trying to sue me and take a cut from it. Because I ain't have any involvement with it, it's out there. I don't even have access to that YouTube channel because my ex hacked it. I ain't making shit off it. So they can't even come at me. If they were to even try to sue me or complain about that, I'd say, man, if I had access to that account that my ex hacked, I'd gladly take them down. I don't want no lawsuit. I don't want to like try to fight with y'all and pay y'all out crazy amounts of royalties. It doesn't even have hardly any views anyway, so it probably won't. But if they were, it'd be like, what could I do? If I had access to that account, I'd just fucking close it. Problem solved, right? But I can't. So it's just out there. I can't do nothing about it. But the quality on that shit is good. Although I'd say I was a younger, super comic guru Alucard. I didn't have the wisdom or the lyrical sharpness that I have now compared to back then. I was still growing. I was developing my style. I was a lot more unpolished with my lyrics than I am now, right? So you would hear a difference too. But do I think the music quality sounds good? Yeah, of course it does. It was actually recorded in a real studio with a producer and a sound engineer, even though they were backstabbing, betraying Adventist, fucking Rich Green and Alfuego. They actually knew what they were doing musically enough to at least produce one good album before they went crazy, wanted to be pastors, and just, you know, bailed on everybody as far as hip hop. So it is what it is, right? Adventists are crazy like that, people. That's why I stopped being one, straight up. But yeah, that's pretty much how things are in a nutshell. Um, when the album is released, as far as like the DWC album, I will come back and do another live albums discussion. And the reason I've held off from doing a live albums discussion about Hood Tales from the Shadow Realm is because that album was technically supposed to be released before TuneCore sabotaged me with that Colton asshole after the DWC album. So to go in order of how it was originally intended, the DWC live album discussion will happen first. Then I will do that one because that's the way it was originally planned before that Colton fucking abusing his power fucked my album up over one fucking song, which is just ridiculous. See, even in that department, I'm getting screwed. Even the distributors are corrupt, shady motherfuckers. So it's a lot to deal with. Anyways, y'all, until next time, Super Comic Guru Alcard, peace out.